let's talk anime. Hello and welcome to Brandon's Discuss Anime, the Reckless Amoeba production. I am your host, Brandon Horvath, and with me as usual are my co-hosts, Brandon Falinger.
Actually, I'd like to change my name. According to the dice, my name is now 10.
Enjoying rolling those dice, huh?
I mean, they're dice. It's very satisfying.
Yeah,
I'm on 11.
I have like 9 or 10 D20s over there, so I might roll them after we're done with this.
Oh, D20s. Now we're getting fancy. I just have 2 D6s right now. Although I could just roll those along with the D20 I have sitting here as well.
And also, Ryan Stokiel.
I rolled a 16 on the Dungeons and Dragons Roll the Dice Simulator.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's a miss. The Rust Monster attacks and destroys your armor. You now have a 10 armor class.
So guys, we talk about anime on this show, but we also talk about food. What is the most odd flavor of ramen you could think of?
That I can think of.
Pancakes and waffles and chicken and waffles.
Chicken and waffles flavor. That would actually be delicious. Yeah. All right. That would actually be very good. Let me think. Oddest flavor? You know what? I'm gonna go with like English tea.
They actually did have a, what was it called? Like, Nugu Tato or like something like that. It was a French fry and chicken nugget ramen.
Really?
Yeah,
it sounds like McDonald's.
But that's not the one I came across a few days ago. Nissan, their Super Cup Buy, which is a large cup of ramen, came out. Actually, the end of the month, they're coming out with it. Vanilla seafood.
That's not as crazy as I was expecting, honestly.
That's strange.
It's strange, but it's not insanity.
Vanilla
seafood.
I wonder if you even taste the vanilla.
That's like the broadest. There's so many kinds of seafood.
I mean, then again, like, there's vanilla Coke and shit like that, so I don't know. It's weird, because vanilla in, like, my head jumps immediately to desserts, but then you think about it and it's like, but there's also that stuff in other things that I hadn't remembered or thought about.
Like seafood.
Like, in this case, seafood, right? Like, just recently, my mom decided to try a new recipe, and it involved honey and garlic.
Ooh.
That sounds good. That is good, though.
Yes, it is.
I rolled an 8.
I'm sorry, you critically fail. All of the food tastes like diarrhea to you now.
Oh, man.
But no, she made like, what was it? It was like chicken breasts just coated in honey and garlic and breadcrumbs.
Yeah, that sounds...
And it was delicious.
Doesn't Buffalo Wild Wings have like a honey garlic chicken?
I have no idea because I have not been to a Buffalo Wild Wings and I can't tell you how long.
Well, I know like typically you can get something similar to that at like an Asian, like Chinese place.
I know, I've heard of like garlic parmesan wings all over. But...
Dude, those are good. We have those at work and they're not too bad.
All right, look, I need to tell you something. All right, so my uncle and my family ended up going out for like food at one point, right?
Mm-hmm. And
my uncle decides to order garlic parmesan wings from this place, and I'm like, oh man, but I love the hot honey wings. They're delicious, so I get those, like a set of 5. My parents like this like sweet chili one that they enjoy that kind of a sauce to it. My uncle digs into the freaking like what was it, the garlic parmesan. He's like, holy crap, that's spicier than the other stuff. Oh my god, because he tried like the other flavors too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you kidding me? Really? How? I'm like, yeah, the garlic has a bite to it, but that's about it.
Yeah. Did you guys go to Quaker Steak and Lube?
I can't say I've ever been there.
Okay. Oh, I was asking if that's where your family went.
No. It was it was another restaurant.
That just sounds like a gas station.
It does.
It is looks like a mechanic, I guess, type thing.
So it's a gas station themed restaurant.
Yeah, but
Huh.
They have, I think on Tuesdays, they have endless wings, and it's just a wing bar with like 20 different flavors of wings,
Ooh.
and they're really good. All the flavors.
All right, so well, let's get on to some other stuff real quick.
Yes,
then.
before you start drooling.
Actually, you know what? No. Let's add one more thing to the food pile just to make you drool a little more.
Damn you!
Have you ever had wild raspberries?
Yeah.
I think I've had wild blackberries up at my grandparents' farm years ago, but I don't think ever wild raspberries.
Oh, dude, you don't know what you're missing. They're amazing. So, I ended up getting like a wild raspberry bush off of somebody that didn't want it anymore and planted it a few years ago. The thing's taken over like a good chunk of the yard.
Ooh.
But my God, the berries it puts out are so good. And like just last weekend, I was able to like pick literally like a giant Tupperware dish full of them.
The good berry to bush ratio.
Yes, a very good berry to bush ratio. The thing is, I gotta get there before the birds and the squirrels and the rabbits get at the damn thing. Cause otherwise there won't be any left.
Oh my God.
Those bastards.
I know, right? How dare they eat the raspberries I planted?
At least you didn't have any bears.
Don't even talk. Jesus Christ, don't even
There's
talk.
a bear in my oatmeal.
Literally, like 2 weeks ago, right? There was a bear that climbed over a barbed wire fence into like this factory that my brother works at. Like it climbed over a barbed wire fence and got in.
Oh my God.
Like, people had pictures of the damn thing. They had to call animal control to get it out.
Oh.
It wasn't a small one either. It was pretty big.
I was gonna ask if he got a job at the factory.
You would think you'd be a good worker, but no, he just eats the paint.
Just the dad of the Berenstain Bears.
God.
Just trying to support his family, and he just gets shot in the head.
Just probably wearing overalls.
I'll be back, kids. I'm going to get a job. Dad hasn't been home
over
in
his
a while.
shoulder.
Wonder what happened.
Now I'm remembering this one book I read when I was really young about some kid's author writing stories about his childhood, and he remembers one time that bears got drunk on fermented apples.
Yeah, no, that checks out.
That sounds like something I read somewhere.
I've seen that happen to not bears per se, but I've seen it happen to insects that eat it, where they get super drunk and they don't know what they're doing.
It may have been Shel Silverstein, but don't quote me on that.
I'm quoting you all over the place, man. I'm gonna blame you if it's wrong.
Wait, hold on.
Now he's gotta be desperate and look for the answer.
3. Probably failed.
Did not find the answer.
No.
You assume it was, let me see. You assume it was Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, dude. Thought it was Sly. Hey, yo, this bear got drunk.
Okay. Anything else we want to discuss?
I'll hold off for now. I've got some other stuff for a future idea.
Okay. So, we typically talk about anime on this show, or American cartoons. Generally...
Whoa. This isn't a live action... What the hell am I doing here? This isn't a live action show?
Not yet. And we typically deal one at a time. But this time, we won't do one anime. We're not doing 2 anime. We're not even doing 5 anime. Today, we will be covering 3 anime. Welcome to Hayaku Anime. Volume 1?
3 times the torture, guys. I'm so sorry.
Wait. Well, you said we weren't doing 5.
Yes, we're not doing 1, we're not doing 2, we're not doing 5, we're doing 3.
Oh, I was expecting 6.
No, but these are all really quick anime that you could watch in less than 5 minutes. I believe
What?
Hayaku means speed up, Brandon?
Quickly. It basically means quickly or
Okay.
quick.
Is that similar to those YouTube videos where it's like Cat the Hat the movie, but every time something crazy happens, it speeds up by 10% or whatever?
No.
Oh, okay.
But these aren't edited at all. These are just shortly produced anime. I would say you could watch all three of these series in under 3.5 hours, and
Probably.
one of them is a little bit on the higher episode count.
That one's got what? That one's what, like 1 minute episodes, which
Yep.
also got recently remade, for a longer form series.
Oh,
And
cool.
let's start with that one. So, Orion, and
Mhm.
let's not try to drag it out. Let's save that for our upcoming movie podcast. So, Aggressive Ritsuko,
Or Agretsuko, as the remake is called.
which we might be getting into at a later date.
I would like to, because I think it looks better. Like, from what I've heard, it's much better than the original shorts.
Okay. But Aggressive Ritsuko,
I don't know what a Ritsuko is.
that's her
Is
name.
it a cracker?
It's Retsuko, but yes.
Retsuko.
Ritsuko? I don't know what it is, but it's aggressive.
I mean,
So,
kind of self-explanatory, right?
yeah. Is it like a tumor?
Oh my god, is it...
Sorry, Mr. Smith.
No, hold on. I'm sorry. Is it literally just like that episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog where the foot just starts taking over fucking,
Eustace.
what's his name? Eustace.
The
where the
foot
foot
fungus.
the foot fungus takes over
Yeah.
Eustace? Is that what we're going for now?
I guess so.
And it just turns into a mob boss?
I'm a tumor, I'm a tumor, I'm a tumor, I'm a tumor, oh, I'm a tumor.
It feels a little less aggressive.
I'm sorry, Mr. Smith, but you've been diagnosed with aggressive Ritsuko.
No!
Here's a lollipop. You get out of my mouth.
Lollipop.
So what's it
So-
about?
Ryan, are you familiar with the Hello Kitty franchise?
Yeah, I am.
It comes from the same people as them, but this is geared at an entirely different audience.
Rather than small little girls that are like 3 or 4 years old, it's geared much more toward, like adults.
20-year-old dudes.
20-year-old anyone's really. Or older.
Maybe the 25-year-old women, since the main person is an office worker.
Honestly, from what I could see, it's not specifically geared toward women, though.
Okay, I can see your point of that.
Like, there's nothing in there, aside from, like, just girlish banter now and then, that really hammers home that it's for women.
Is there a lot of water cooler talk in it?
Sometimes.
Actually, wait, was there ever a water cooler involved?
I would say, like, there's water cooler type banter, but no actual water cooler.
That's
around.
what I was wondering at that point. I was like, wait, was there ever a water cooler in the series?
I haven't
Like,
seen...
other than just in the background. I think there might have been one in the background when they were walking through, like, a hallway.
I haven't seen the longer form Agretsuko.
I haven't either yet.
Since it's longer, that may be...
I mean,
have a
quote
water cooler
unquote
thing.
longer. It's close to the same amount of time total.
Hey, Bob, do your Borat impression. My wife.
Is bull.
I don't know that reference.
That's from Bob's Burgers, where
Oh.
he dreams about not owning a burger shop, and he's at the water cooler with the other associates, and the one guy's just like, "Hey, Bob, do your Borat impression," and he's just like, "My wife," and then he wakes up in a cold sweat.
But what about your mom is bomb?
I don't know that one.
That one's directly taken from Borat.
Oh,
So, Aggressive Ritsuko has 100 one-minute episodes. All about Ritsuko's daily life, things aggravate her, so she relieves her stress by singing death metal.
I mean, she does that, but like the problem is it feels like half of it's in her head.
I think most of it is in her head.
Because I think there's only like a handful of times that she's actually at a karaoke bar to do that. But the weird part is there are points where like other characters get involved in the fantasy of that.
so she's just daydreaming at her job?
Well, when she's upset, like she dumps into like kind of an inner world version of what's going on and turns into like death metal.
With like streaked mascara and like her character design changes.
Think like Kiss styled like face paint, essentially, is what's going on with the character like change.
So, she hates her boss who always gives her too much work. There's a hippo at work who always... Oh, like, what's the hippo's main thing?
Eating people?
Well, she's disorganized. B, she's freaking, like...
She hungry?
Self-obsessed.
She's just constantly eating white balls, not getting any work done. Someone just keeps punching her back.
I'm actually trying to, like, think right now if she actually... I think there was only, like, 1 or 2 scenes where she's actually shown eating.
Is it an actual hippo?
They're all animals in this.
Yeah, think like Hello Kitty style hippo, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and Retsuko is a red panda?
Yes, which means she kind of looks like just a red raccoon, really.
Yeah.
Then you have Feneko the fox.
I was thinking of just people.
No.
Kind of has a thing for Ritsuko.
Feneko?
Oh, no, not Feneko. I'm thinking about... Oh,
the coyote guy.
Yeah, no, he's a wolf.
Is he a wolf or a coyote? Because honestly, I don't really know the difference.
Let's go with coyote.
Coyote.
Mr. Wile E. Coyote.
Smaller, I think.
Said coyote is then just chasing around a random bird character.
Just running into painted walls. That
exactly.
Like
see, you get it. Ryan gets it.
Holding up signs before they fall.
Because he can't speak for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And this was... Oh, shoot, I should have pulled this up when we started.
Yes, probably.
But I believe Aggressive Ritsuko was around 2016, 2015, up until...
I think 2015.
I believe up until 2017, when a few weeks later, the Netflix series started coming out.
And if I recall, I think it's 10 episodes at 15 minutes apiece for the Netflix version of it. Also, it seems to tell a much more concise story than the shorts do. Because there's a lot of stuff in the shorts that just kind of goes nowhere.
Yeah, I guess you don't have much time to explain anything in 1 minute.
I know. Honestly, you're talking about like the wolf/coyote character. Again, I don't know his name. Please, comment section, inform me because I have no idea.
Hyena.
Because literally, he's only really got one main scene that he's in, and it's one where he starts obsessing over fixing stuff. Like, that's the only episode I think he ever really shows up and does anything. Otherwise, he's just kind of a background character. The hippo shows up a couple of times just to be a pain in the ass. Feneko shows up quite a bit. The fox girl.
Is there any snakes or anything? Reptiles?
No.
Yes, there is.
Yes.
There's that like. Oh no! He's like a mongoose. He's not a snake or anything. There's the snake, like the older snake woman that's there. That's like one of Retsuko's bosses.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, there is a like a reptile snake woman that's in there. Like she looks like she'd be like late 30s, 40s, somewhere in there. If I had to guess age, but you know, with characters like that, it's kind of hard to judge.
But the first episode kind of sets up, like, Ritsuko's all happy, like, time to wake up, and then by the end of the day, she's...
miserable.
In turmoil beyond belief.
Well, that's the thing, too, because it's like, she first... Well, actually, I forget if this is in the Netflix version, because I did watch a little bit of it. like just the intro, just to see what it was like. And what I got out of it from that was like we get like Retsuko first showing up to work for the first day, and then we get a smash cut to like 5 years later, and she's just miserable and beer cans are strewn all over like the apartment she's living in and shit. And she's just having a shit time getting out of bed from the alarm going off.
And the thing is, since it is Sanyo, everything looks super cute art style.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's like thick lines.
yes,
Drawn.
thick outside lines, smaller inside lines.
And aggressive Ritsuko ran from April 2nd, 2016 to March 31st, 2018, with Agretsuko, the Netflix version, starting April 20th of 2018.
Okay.
So they were probably knowing they were going to be picked up, so they were saying, hey, let's cut it off at a nice 100.
I do find it weird, though, that they wouldn't have mentioned that on the last episode.
Yeah.
I think
That's
they
literally like a
said
month apart.
something like, look forward to more adventures coming soon, or...
No, there was none of that.
Oh.
Like, she was in the karaoke room just upset that her show was basically being canceled. That was about it. We didn't get anything as far as, like, look for a new series or whatever.
And then she, like, death metal about her show being canceled.
Yeah, she death metal about, like, trying to get an extension or something.
So, does the Netflix start from the beginning or from where the...
It starts from the beginning. It basically retakes everything that happens in, like, you know, the mini-series.
Yeah.
And then expands upon that.
Okay.
Like, it cuts out the pointless bullshit and then adds in stuff that's, like, actual interaction between other characters and such. Like, there's this one, like, deer character who's basically, like, the suck-up of, the Office and tries to get ahead. And we get no development on her whatsoever in the mini-series. Other than that, oh man, she's just a suck-up. That's great. She's a bitch that wants to get ahead by, like, making everybody else feel better about it. But from what I understand in, like, the Netflix version, you get more of, like, an in-depth look at her. It's like she's okay with having people look down on her so long as she can get ahead and have a better position.
Yeah.
That's the other thing I should mention also, is that Retsuko, from when she's first brought in, 5 years later, she never gets any better. Like she
no
doesn't get any promotions or anything. She's stuck in the same entry-level position that she was the day she started.
Are they like cubicles or?
Yeah, desks.
So, today's second series, translated into English, Life is a Cocktail. Ryan, guesses.
Takes place at a bar.
Not quite. Some scenes, not all.
Let's see. Takes place on a tail of a rooster. Just fleas.
It's just fleas. Wait, do fleas invade feathered
I don't
birds?
know. I don't know.
Huh. I never actually thought about that.
Is it about people at work? And then
Yes and no. Yes and no.
And then they go to happy hour?
Yes and no. Yes and no.
I don't know. That's what comes to my mind.
Well, you have guessed it. It is about office lady Chiatsu Mizusawa, who has a rough day at work. So to relax, she goes home to her husband Sora, who is a stay-at-home husband, ex-bartender, and he makes her a cocktail.
He stirs it in with the Keyblade.
Oh. And usually she gets drunk, they relax, she usually says something funny, and it ends with a recipe for said cocktail. So it's a kind of condensed Food Wars, but for beverages.
It's condensed, but you know what it also reminds me of?
What?
Right? Orion, have you ever played Persona 5 at all, or Catherine?
Nope.
All right, so here's the thing, right? In Catherine, you're basically, and it doesn't really matter what you're doing in Catherine. It's a puzzle game, all right?
Mm.
But one of the things you do is, like, you hang out at a bar before you get into puzzle sequences. And while you're at the bar, you can order, like, a drink to, like, kind of make things easier. And they'll have the whole pop-up of, like, hey, here's this new, like, alcoholic beverage, and here's what history up, like, the little history blurb of it, and how it's made and all that.
Mm.
And then in Persona 5, you get the same kind of setup, except it's with coffee and different types of coffee.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, well, where do the beans come from and all this crap? And I'm like, oh man, this is actually kind of interesting, just having this, like, information thing going on here. It's kind of cool. Also, just to get back, yes, fleas can show up on birds, but it's very rare. You're more likely to find lice and mites on birds.
Okay.
Okay. The more you know.
Diddling ding ding.
But this series is from October 3rd, 2017 to December 26th, 2017, with a potential 14th episode that was announced back in May. So maybe it will have a second season. Maybe it will have an OVA episode when it comes out on DVD. Or...
Mm-hmm. And the episodes are only like 3 minutes or so long,
5.
I think. 5? Is it 5? Okay.
I thought it was closer to 5.
Okay, then I'm thinking of the next series as 3.
You know what? I don't know. It could be 3 as well.
Yeah, no, I liked the series. It was interesting. I liked it better than Aggressive Retsuko, I'll be honest. Just because Aggressive Retsuko, the story just seemed all over the place. Like, there wasn't any real concise storytelling with it, because of probably how short it was.
But there seems to be a lot of character development in these 13 3 to 5 minute episodes.
I wouldn't completely agree. I feel like her husband Sora doesn't get much in the way of development. He kind of just stays the same the whole time.
In like the last 3 or 4, you get to know his backstory kind of on how they met.
Yeah, but that's not really developing the character. That's just showing you what he's already been through.
Mm.
Whereas, like, that's the wife's name? I'm blanking again. Chisatsu. She gets a Chisatsu.
Yes.
Whatever. She gets a little development in that. There's not much, if any. It's just like, oh man, I've got this big job thing coming up. I gotta make sure I can get it done. Oh boy.
Make me something non-alcoholic. And then he makes you like some banana smoothie. This tastes delicious.
Like alcohol.
Do their clothes come off?
No,
unfortunately not.
Except in like 1 or 2 episodes, she unbuttons her top a little bit to relax more, but that's about as much boobage as we're gonna get.
Like loosening your belt.
Kind of.
Eating big meal. Yeah.
And she usually gets drunk pretty easily.
She's a lightweight. Either that or, she uses it as an excuse. One of the two.
Although the orange breeze, I think it was called, that looked really good with orange juice and I believe sake.
Something like that. Like you, it's been a while since I watched it, so I don't remember exactly what the recipes were. But yeah, it'd be good. It'd be cool to try out like those different the recipes themselves at some point.
Maybe we could do but that might be so much money to buy a little bit of each one of the alcohols.
Depends. I don't know how much. I don't remember how much of it overlaps.
Yeah.
Like how much alcohol overlaps it in general. Like, is there whiskey in like 1 or 2 or 3 of these drinks, or is it literally different alcohol on every single episode? Like, I know the one's non-alcoholic, so that'll be on the cheaper side.
Yeah.
I think 2 of them may be non-alcoholic.
You might be right, actually. I don't recall for sure.
And there's one episode where there's no drink because it's just backstory.
No, wasn't there? Because he made that first one. Like a backstory, but he makes that first one for her at the bar there.
I don't know if they give you the recipe for that one.
Maybe it's because it's the same one they use in the next episode after that. I could be wrong. Yeah, it is. That's right. Because in the next episode, like, he makes the drink that he gave her the first time they met. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that one flows into the second, like, that episode afterward. But yeah, I enjoyed this one. There's very little character development there, but it's still leaps and bounds ahead of Retsuko in this case. Possibly
because it is longer than 1 minute.
Yeah, it's true. It is longer than 1 minute, which helps.
And although they're uncommon, it's not likely to see a 1 or 2 minute anime, but sometimes these are produced for filler in between shows, like, oh, I have an anime that's 20 minutes, and I'm dead set on making my anime 20 minutes for whatever reason. Like, these are there to fill up, like, the extra time slot.
Like the Angela Anaconda shorts that used to premiere on Fox Kids. I hated that show so much.
Was that, like, photographs?
Yes.
Look at this
black and white photographs on top of that.
On top of color backgrounds?
Yes.
I vaguely remember that show, finding it so weird.
You wanna know the worst part?
What?
When you when you get the Digimon, the first movie, which I do own, you're stuck with like a 15-minute short in front of that movie, and it's like tailored into the movie. It's not a separate thing you can watch.
Can't you just chapter skip ahead?
Yes, you can. However, like, the point is, it's not a separate thing. It's still in there, and it shouldn't be. Nobody likes this thing, and it's just in there.
Does it have anything to do with Digimon whatsoever?
The episode that's in there is basically like, we're going to go see the Digimon movie. Oh boy!
Oh.
And, oh god, it was, I hated that show every time it came on.
Nightmares would form.
It was gouge my eyes up terrible.
I'm sorry, man.
It's not fair. Why does it have to exist? Nobody should be, like, forced to watch that. The worst part is, too, every time the show, like, that movie premiered on TV, the short aired with it. And I forget if the first movie was premiered in theaters or not, but if it was, it also had that in front of it.
I don't remember.
It might have in Japan. I don't know if it ever did in the US.
Then what did Japanese audiences see before the movie? Nothing?
I have no idea. All I know, I remember Angela Anaconda is a Canadian production. I know that much.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, right?
I don't know. I don't know if that does or not, but...
Don't get me wrong. Canada can make some good stuff, but my God, when it's bad, it's bad.
They made Todd and the Book of Pure Evil. That's a good show.
I think they were also in charge of, like, Transformers Beast Wars back in the day.
Oh, shit. All of Canada?
I think that was them.
All of Canada wrote Beast Wars.
Yes. Beast Wars was a good CG series. I won't even lie. It was a good,
but actually go watch it again and it's trash.
Oh yeah, no. The art and graphics of the 3D models do not stand up.
Like,
just
it looks like
Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, it looks like somebody just smashed it in their hand and smeared it on a white wall. And
I mean, at the time, it was up there. It was right up there with Reboot as being like a really good CG series.
Oh yeah, Reboot looked amazing.
Reboot was great for the time.
Like ass.
But yeah, you go back now and there's a lot of stiff animations.
You know what I just recently watched was The Max.
The Max?
Yeah, it was it's an Image comic from the 90s, but it was also on, I believe, MTV.
Okay, that would be why I probably didn't see it.
But that still holds up. The first episode's on Vimeo. I watched it yesterday or the day before. But yeah.
I have to get that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like a gritty, like, art style comic book thing. It's pretty cool though.
Okay, let's get out of the office and into high school for our final one.
Wow. What a segue.
I feel like we're reverse aging here.
Yes. Plastic Nissan.
Nason.
Plastic Nissan.
Should we give him
Nason?
the translation for Nason?
Yeah.
I mean, you can. It's fine.
Older sister.
Alright.
Even though she's the shortest of the three.
Alright.
You have no idea where to go with this.
It's I'm gonna just guess, like, the older sister dies and they buy a blow-up doll from a doll and they just keep her around.
Shit.
That's my guess.
Well, I would say this is the zaniest of the three.
That's a word for it?
It's about 3 high school girls in the model building club.
Plastic model building club, yes.
Nicknamed Nissan, Okappa, and Maki Maki, each of which wear a particular head accessory.
I think it's one of the plastic models they've made.
Nissan has a castle on her head, Okappa has a train on her head, and Maki Maki has a tank on her head.
Now, does this cover their entire heads?
No.
It's like a little hat.
Okay. Now, do they wear these hats everywhere?
Yes.
Or
Yes. Yes.
Now, are they special needs?
I mean, no.
Okay. Are they the only 3 in their plastic modeling class?
Yes.
No one's in that club.
Are they homeschooled?
No.
Okay. That's the
Does
sounds.
the tank model work? Yes.
Does the castle
There's
work?
even a little person inside the tank that fires it.
Huh?
Little soldier in there.
So,
What the fuck?
it's one of those series.
If you've seen Bobobo, you hold on to your underwear because that's where we're going with this shit.
Hold on here.
Did you ever see Bobobo?
I think I have watched a couple episodes of it. I don't know if you showed me or one of my other buddies.
It's
showed
that.
me
It's close to that level of shit.
I think it was even in the same magazine.
So, do we want to get into like a couple of episodes?
Yes. Just
Like-
to give him the idea of where this goes.
All right. Why don't we talk about the guy who gets the baseball guy? So the setup for this one is like they're out on the street like walking, right? The 3 characters, the 3 girls, Nason and the others, right? And they end up seeing like these 2 guys getting like bullied by another group that are like trying to mug them. And they're like, we should call the cops. And this guy that's in like a baseball uniform comes up and goes like, no, I'll handle this. And he locks down, right? And he's going to deal with them, right? And it seems like he's gonna beat the shit out of them because he looks like he's built pretty well. Instead, he flexes, right? And just shreds his shirt off. And underneath, he's wearing like a bra or something. And he starts like pelvically thrusting at like ridiculous speeds. And then he like flexes again. And the bra snaps off. His pants come off, right? And he does it a 3rd time, and the bra snaps off and hits a guy in the face. And he's just slowly walking toward them, pelvically thrusting at them until they're like fearing for their lives, to the point where the guys that were like being victimized at that point, as well as the muggers, both like run off trying to save each other from this horrible fate of being subjected to whatever the hell he's doing.
And didn't the thrusting guy get arrested at the end?
He then gets arrested.
Is he a recurring character?
Unfortunately, no.
All the side characters appear only once.
Most
Okay.
of the side characters appear only once.
Oh,
There's that.
What's her name? Like, giant woman.
No, the gorgeous one, the gorgeous girl,
Oh yes, the
She appears more than
gorgeous one.
and she's like the ugliest looking thing imaginable.
I am so beautiful. Can't you tell by my beauty?
And she literally is like trying to teach the other girls at one point, like how you need to freaking like be beautiful like her. And like Plastic Nason's just like losing her shit at how ridiculous this is. And the other two are just kind of deadpanning at it. There's the point where like we're just in the gym, right? And Plastic Nason is just like, and Nason's just stuck up inside the basketball hoop, just put there. And like the gym class comes in and it's like, what are you doing up there? Oh, see, I'm being punished. See, I did something that the other girl, Okaba, from the club doesn't like. So they put me up here. It's like, well, can't you just get down? We need to use the gym. Don't you think I would have done that already if I could get down? And then, like, Okaba and, well, what's the other one's name? I'm blanking.
Maki.
Maki. They walk in, and they're just like, we're here to get that, and just point at Nason. And it's like, are you sorry for what you did? Yes, I'm very sorry. She's like kicking her feet back and forth. Her shoe slips off, slams Okaba in the face. And Okaba just like, as the shoe slips off her face and she's got this demonic look on, like she's pissed.
And then she turned around, leaves.
No. She does worse. She takes the rod she was going to use to try to help her out and starts jamming it between her legs. And Nason's just going like, stop, you keep doing this, I really will turn into an adult. And Bill Cobb's just like I give a shit.
But just how outrageous, like, their expressions are.
There's literally a point, right, where Maki's like weeping because she tried to confess to someone and that person didn't like respond in like a positive way. And she's just like weeping on the floor in the club room and Nason just walks in and starts laughing at her. And there's a point where it's like, no, here's how we need to do this, right? We need to follow like this gorilla mating dance thing. It's like we need to be just like the gorilla and attract boys by like dancing the sexy dance. To the point where like they start fantasizing about it and they're just in there under like Maki invites a boy up to like the roof of the school to try and confess. All of a sudden she like tears off her clothing to show like the guy the like sexy dance of the gorilla. And then Okaba's just in the background like, no, I need to confess too. Tears it off. But, of course, they still have the plastic models on their head. That doesn't come off. It's so fucking ridiculous. It's literal insanity in a bottle.
I would say, like, this has to be one of the most outrageous series we covered since Cromartie, which was our first episode.
Just walks in, we're here to pick up that. There's a point where they have, like, the tennis match with the gorgeous girl, and Nason just slams the tennis ball and it gets stuck between, like, the gorgeous girl's double chins. Like the neck fat in her chin. She's just like, that was good serve, but let me show you how to do it more gorgeously. Like, what the shit? Like, you see the face plant, like, flipping around, too, at one point. Just like, what the shit is going on?
So, how, they're in high school, how old are they? Or, like, what grade or whatever?
Seniors?
I don't know. They're not really specific. I don't believe. Okay.
But they're all, like, the one's the oldest, and then the middle, and the youngest?
It seems like it. However, Nason, I assume, since that's supposed to be, like, older sister, that she would be the oldest, even though she's the shortest out of the three.
Which is a contrast. Yeah, Nason is the oldest, while the other two are underclassmen.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Oh no, never mind. Nason is a senior, while the other two are the underclassmen.
I mean, basically saying the same thing, just,
Oh no, the oldest sister's older, but the younger sisters are younger.
Yeah, but I wasn't going to go how much younger. But then again, isn't Japanese high school 10th, 11th, 12th?
something like that.
Yeah, because
Yeah, I
I
don't
think,
even know.
yeah, I think like Japanese middle school is 7th, 8th, 9th, and they have like primary or whatever elementary, whatever.
They
country.
also, I don't know if it's like all other countries, but everywhere else they say like year 10,
Yeah.
12, which is weird.
And I think Japanese high school actually starts in late April. I think that's
What?
when their year starts. So,
Well, I mean, our years are only defined by, like, harvesting periods for
Yeah, true.
farms and stuff. So I assume it would be the same, but for rice.
Yeah,
that's just
I'm just gonna
weird.
agree. That sounds about
I
right.
mean, you're saying it's weird, but they would say it's weird for us to do it this way. And it honestly
No,
comes down to the
no,
farming
no,
season.
I meant base it around harvesting periods.
Yeah,
Well, that's what you had to do back in the day, because farming was the main, occupation.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess.
And everybody needs their, hands for when it's time to harvest the food.
So, Orion, 3 anime. What are your thoughts on all of them?
they sound pretty neat. Plus, like, if you could knock them all out in a few hours, that's a plus.
Yeah, since Plastic Nason is,
It's like a half hour for, like, all of the episodes.
yeah, so
Okay.
Like, watch that. You can watch that entire series in 1/2 hour.
2 minutes, roughly 2 minutes each, 12 episodes, half hour.
Just watch it on YouTube. That's where you can find it.
Okay.
I think Crunchyroll also may have it.
Maybe. I don't know. I know that's where I watched it. I found it on YouTube just as a one, like, whole thing.
That's where I saw it too. I definitely know Life is a Cocktail is on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, because those are more recent. I think Nason came out, like, mid-2000s?
2011 until 2012.
Okay, late 2000s.
And are you still rolling that die?
Hold on. Well, that's a 7, so I don't think I'm going to be able to lie to you. Yes?
I just find it interesting that this 12-episode series took a year to come out. Well, every month, maybe, they came out with a new one.
I mean, it's a good series, though.
Yes, yes.
It's a hilarious series. I'm sorry.
And,
So much stupid shit.
and right before we end, the Mochi episode I'm seeing now.
Yes. Continue. The Mochi episode.
Where's the Mochi Club? I don't remember too much. I'm just reading blurbs about it.
Do you want me to expand off of that, or?
Yes, please.
Basically, it starts off with, like, them just hearing a thumping from upstairs above the club room. They go to, like, Nason gets tired of it, goes to investigate. Here it's, like, 2, like, twin girls making mochi by pounding it. And they're like, we're sorry, we can't stop. And in the corner of the club room, of the mochi club room, is just, like, this giant woman. That they're, like...
That's, I was confusing her with the ugly girl.
Yes, you were. Like, there's this giant woman who they're like, we need to appease her so she doesn't eat us. And it turns out they ended up feeding her, like, drugged mochi so she passes out. And then they start beating on her because it's like, now you can't do anything now, can you? Huh? And they start just sitting like, what the hell's happening? And it's like, you do this to everyone else.
But these series are all fun. So I would recommend all 3 of them.
Yo, I'll check
Personally,
out.
I would recommend Aggressive Retsuko over this from everything I've heard. Over the original one, at least. But, your call.
Yeah, and I think as of this... Oh, and I heard that Aggressive Retsuko just got a 2nd season renewed, so...
Oh, nice. More development.
Yeah. Coming out next year on Netflix, so...
Coming out never.
Okay, so, next time, we will attack 1 episode back to normal.
I'm going to hide inside some walls.
Yes. So, until then, later.
Bye. Wait. Hold on. I need to. All right, the 6. Goodbye.
I rolled a 4. Fuck off.